A new and formidable threat is reshaping the battlefield dynamics in the volatile region of southern Lebanon. Hezbollah, the Shiite militant group backed by Iran, has increasingly leveraged first-person view drones in its engagements with the Israel Defense Forces. These small, maneuverable drones, guided in real time and often impervious to electronic countermeasures, have transformed conventional warfare approaches, delivering precision strikes against Israeli armored units. According to reports from the Times of Israel, these FPV drones are not typical in their construction or operational capabilities. They are guided via fiber optic cables, allowing them to maintain a low and fast profile, effectively bypassing Israel's traditional defense systems. Recent footage has demonstrated the deadly accuracy of these drones as they crash into Israeli tanks and armored vehicles, inflicting significant damage. Military analysts draw parallels with tactics observed in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, where such drones have become a crucial element on the battlefield due to their cost-effectiveness, adaptability, and lethality. The threat posed by these drones is unceasing for Israeli forces operating in the contested territories. The IDF has already reported numerous injuries from these drone strikes as its forces advance deeper into hostile areas. While Hezbollah had previously experimented with these drone technologies, their deployment has now accelerated, marking a significant shift in the nature of combat in the region. Casualties and tensions on the rise. The conflict between Israel and Hezbollah has led to a sharp increase in casualties among Israeli forces. Israeli authorities have reported an uptick in injuries and fatalities as cross-border hostilities intensify amidst a broader regional escalation. The Israeli military has disclosed that approximately 48 soldiers were wounded over a recent 24-hour period, with fatalities reported among personnel from the Nahal Brigade. This brings the total number of Israeli military fatalities to 10 since the conflict's escalation, with over 300 injuries, some critically. Israel's health ministry added that 118 individuals were admitted to hospitals on a recent Tuesday, raising the total number of people treated since the conflict reignited to 6,638. Military operations remain intense and complex, especially in ground combat scenarios, according to Israeli assessments. Military sources attribute ongoing casualties to Hezbollah's sophisticated tactics, including rocket fire, ambushes, and strategic mobility across the terrain. Hezbollah's continued offensive. Hezbollah persists in its offensive, targeting Israeli military positions along the border as part of the broader confrontation. In a recent incident, Israeli media reported that an officer and 3 soldiers were killed, while 3 others sustained injuries, 1 critically. Another attack resulted in injuries to 4 Israeli soldiers, including 1 moderately wounded by shrapnel from a near-miss rocket strike. In a separate incident, 3 reservists incurred light injuries when a drone detonated near their position. The IDF confirmed these soldiers were evacuated for medical treatment and their families have been notified. These incidents underscore Hezbollah's continued utilization of mixed attack tactics, combining rocket fire with drone strikes to pressure Israeli forces near the border. Although the injuries from these attacks were limited, the successive nature of these incidents highlights the persistent volatility of the Israel-Lebanon front amid the wider regional conflict. As tensions remain high, the northern front acts as a secondary but active theater, intensifying the multi-front pressure on Israeli forces. Iran's influence and regional dynamics. Amidst this escalated conflict, Iran's role looms large, with accusations of backing Hezbollah in its military engagements against Israel. The Israeli Defense Forces have identified Iran as a key player in the regional escalation, with Iranian-backed forces fueling the confrontation. In response to these developments, Israel has launched airstrikes targeting Hezbollah infrastructure within Beirut, although specifics on the targets remain undisclosed by the Israeli army. Furthermore, Iran has accused the United States and Israel of utilizing regional resources to conduct aggressive actions against it. Iran's position is one of self-defense, with Iranian officials asserting their right under international law to target the origins of these perceived aggressions in defense of their sovereignty. Diplomatic strains and international implications. The geopolitical tension has further strained diplomatic relations. Iran has rejected any direct negotiations with the United States, despite a series of proposals from the American side conveyed through intermediaries like Pakistan. Iranian officials maintain that the ongoing military aggression by the United States and its allies continues unabated, prompting Iran to focus its efforts on self-defense. Iranian officials have voiced strong criticism of the international community's response or lack thereof to the ongoing hostilities. They argue that the United States and its allies, including Israel, are perpetuating aggression in the region, urging neighboring countries to prevent the misuse of their territories for such purposes. In light of these developments, regional dynamics remain fraught with tension as both military and diplomatic fronts experience heightened strain. The situation's complexity is compounded by Iran's assertions of its rights under the Non-Proliferation Treaty (EST), amid concerns about its nuclear ambitions and the broader implications for regional peace and security. As the conflict persists, its ramifications are felt across the region, with implications for international diplomacy, regional stability, and the global geopolitical landscape. The evolving tactics and technologies employed by groups like Hezbollah continue to challenge conventional military strategies, underscoring the transformative impact of technology on modern warfare. Part 2, detailed analysis, deep dive, and conclusion. The evolving conflict in southern Lebanon, marked by Hezbollah's innovative use of first-person view drones against the Israel Defense Forces, represents a significant shift in modern warfare. These drones, reminiscent of strategies employed in the Russia-Ukraine war, highlight the increasing role of technology in combat, where traditional defense systems face challenges in countering these agile and precise aerial threats. Technological innovation in warfare. Hezbollah's deployment of FPV drones introduces a new dimension to the battlefield, one where conventional defenses are often inadequate. These drones, guided by real-time operators through fiber optic cables, maintain a stealthy approach, flying low and fast to evade detection and electronic jamming. This technological sophistication enables Hezbollah to conduct precision strikes with devastating effect on Israeli armored units, demonstrating a tactical evolution that has caught the attention of military analysts worldwide. The use of such drones is not merely a tactical choice, but a strategic one, allowing Hezbollah to leverage cost-effective yet lethal technology to level the playing field against a technologically superior adversary. This mirrors tactics seen in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, where FPV drones have become a staple of modern warfare due to their adaptability and precision. Impact on Israeli forces. The impact on Israeli troops has been significant, with reports of increased casualties and injuries attributed to these drone strikes. The Israel Defense Forces have faced a relentless threat as they navigate the contested territories of southern Lebanon. The ability of these drones to bypass traditional defenses and deliver precise strikes has added a layer of complexity to the operational landscape for Israeli forces. The IDF has had to adapt to these changing dynamics, employing countermeasures and adjusting their strategies to mitigate the threat posed by these drones. However, the persistent nature of the attacks underscores the challenges Israeli forces face in maintaining security and operational effectiveness in a rapidly evolving theater of conflict. Broader regional implications. The conflict between Israel and Hezbollah is not an isolated incident, but part of a broader regional escalation involving multiple actors. Iran's backing of Hezbollah and its involvement in the conflict adds a geopolitical dimension, complicating the path to peace and stability in the region. The confrontation has seen a rise in cross-border hostilities, with both sides engaged in a tit-for-tat escalation that threatens to draw in wider regional powers. Israel's military operations, including airstrikes on Hezbollah infrastructure in Beirut, reflect the high stakes of this conflict. The involvement of Iran, directly or through its proxies, in attacks against Israeli and U.S. interests further complicates the situation. The geopolitical chessboard is fraught with tension as nations navigate alliances and enmities that have the potential to reshape the Middle East. Human cost and calls for peace. Amidst the technological and strategic analyses, the human cost of the conflict remains a stark reminder of the price of war. The casualties and fatalities among Israeli forces and the broader civilian toll underscore the urgent need for diplomatic solutions. Families mourn the loss of loved ones, and communities grapple with the enduring trauma of conflict. Public sentiment, as reflected in statements from grieving families and communities, highlights a deep desire for peace and an end to the cycle of violence. The plea for peace resonates strongly as the conflict drags on, with calls for diplomatic engagement and conflict resolution becoming more urgent. Conclusion: navigating the future. The situation in southern Lebanon and the broader regional context presents a complex and multifaceted challenge. The integration of advanced technology like FPV drones into the conflict underscores the need for adaptive strategies and innovative solutions in modern warfare. As Israel and Hezbollah continue their engagements, the broader geopolitical implications loom large, with potential consequences for regional stability and international relations. Navigating this conflict requires not only military acumen, but also diplomatic finesse and a commitment to finding sustainable peace. The international community's role in facilitating dialogue and supporting conflict resolution efforts is crucial to preventing further escalation and ensuring a path towards stability and reconciliation in the region. In summary, the conflict in southern Lebanon is emblematic of the changing nature of warfare, where technology plays a pivotal role and geopolitical dynamics shape the course of events. As the region grapples with these challenges, the call for peace and the pursuit of lasting solutions remain paramount.